All right. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Tradeify Crypto live stream. Here today, we are going to guess what? We're going to be live trading crypto. Surprise, surprise. I didn't work a lot on that intro, honestly. How's it going, Ayush? How are you today?
I'm doing great. Had a good weekend.
Good stuff. Good stuff. You know what I've started doing? I've started a new hobby. I might give up this whole trading thing because I have bought a RC car. Not for myself though, for my son. But I think it's so nice. It's one of those RC crawlers, and it's like slow and powerful and kind of climbs up the mountains. Dude, it's so fun. It's so fun. I bought it for my kid, but I'm not sure if I bought it for him or if I actually bought it for myself because it's so fun. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing this week, and it's been out in the woods, climbing mountains with a little car. I gotta log into YouTube here to go in and check the chat because I don't have the chat open. Let's see if we have any interesting people in the comment section. All right, let's see. What do we have here? Who is this? All right, of course we got Jumir. He's, the account
winner,
account collector.
Yeah.
We got Astronauts as well. You want to believe both the Jumir and Astronauts has one account. We have another one as well, JSSU9B. Maybe it's your time to win an account today, my friend, because we are going to give away accounts to everyone. No. What am I saying? We're not going to give away accounts to everyone. We're going to give... everyone's going to have a chance to win. Yeah. All right, are we winning today, Ayush? Are we making any money? Nice, good answer. Good answer. We got Ori. Man, you guys gotta go in and you gotta fix your YouTube usernames, right? You gotta have an actual name. I can't call you Anchor9JCO089H4F. But if I go into his channel, do you have a normal name if I go into channel? Oh, Dio. Dio. Oh, it's better. Okay. Better. All right. So what are we looking at today? We're looking at Bitcoin right here. We have something interesting happening right here. Which the first thing that I'm noticing here on Bitcoin is, of course, the similarities between this pattern and that pattern. It doesn't really, I don't think really it means anything, but what's interesting here is that we've had one 1, 2, 3, 4 tests. We got 1, 2, I don't know, 3, 4 maybe, or is this one?
Yeah,
I don't know, but yeah, so it's an interesting pattern here that seems to be repeating itself, and it sort of reminds me of something. I think his name is Benjamin Cohen, who has the Into the Cryptoverse YouTube channel. By the way, if you haven't checked that one out, go and subscribe to it right now. Well, not right now, but after the live stream. Obviously, it's a wonderful channel, very good stuff. Love his stuff here, and a lot of the stuff that I talk about in Bitcoin as well is kind of like taken from a lot of different sources, right? And he is definitely one of my motivations when I analyze the market. We have a question. Where is Alex? I don't think anyone knows where the. I don't think anyone knows where Alex is. He's sort of all over the place. What was I saying? Yes, something that Ben or Benjamin talked about was the fact that in a bear market for Bitcoin, we trend up more than we trend down, which of course makes no sense. But if you look at the weekly, of course we're trading down. But if you actually look at the daily and the structure of the daily, you see that we have only really two moves that is characteristics of this bear market, because if we didn't have these moves, then we would not have a bear market, and it's basically this down move and then of course this down move. But everything that has happened outside of these two moves has been an uptrend, right? So we have, and this goes along the lines of something that we talk often about in technical analysis, the fact that the bulls take the staircase and the bears jump out the window or takes the elevator. In this case, I would just say jump out the window. So that also one of the reasons why it can sometimes be quite confusing when you're looking at a bear market for Bitcoin, because you really have to look at the zoomed out picture to get an understanding of where are we in the cycle and what type of behavior can you expect in a move like this. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to bring Alex on the live stream. I want him here as well, but unfortunately I don't think he wants to be here, but we will have him on the live stream. Maybe if you all can write in the chat how much you really like Alex, and then just magically he might actually appear, because I'm pretty sure he's watching this. You could write something nice about him. He has got a haircut, so maybe you can write nice hair, dude. Like your hair. Wish you were here. Things like that. Something I would.
You guys can spam good things about him. He'll be joining us.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, there's probably a higher likelihood if we say something bad about him that he's going to have to jump on and defend himself. So that might be an idea. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. Alex's new haircut, it looks absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. It was such a, like, he should, hopefully he didn't pay for that, you know? Ayush, I feel like I'm just rambling on here. Let's take a look at your chart. I want to see what you're working with here.
So yeah, without any wasting any time, let's get straight into charts. We had the weekend in between, so let's switch over the market and understand that actually what happened on Saturday and Sunday, and where the move came from and what that could mean into today's market. So as we previously discussed about this weekly supply zone, which is nothing but just a wick, we got good reaction, and now we are again trying to, as Jonathan said, that we already had 4 spikes. I think we are going for the 4th one, then it can dump after taking out the highs. And on Ethereum, we had nothing but same supply zone as only wick of daily time frame, and we got really good back. Now the thing is that I'm not sure that the bear move is actually the bear move actually started, because we are getting reaction from value previous week value area low, and it's holding it very strongly, and we also have divergence, and looks like Bitcoin is actually stronger here. Now if we talk about as intraday perspective, that it is generally very easy to think about a trend when we are above or below daily open. So on Friday on Saturday the market was below daily open. So what I do always is, when we are going below daily open and we have good seller volume, it is very easy to go shorts. Plus being in the supply zone, same thing happened on Saturday. You guys can see here that we tapped daily open on Saturday 8 a.m. and we tapped and the entire candle went through in Bitcoin, indicating that Ethereum is actually more weaker. And you can see that it took the low of this candle very easily, because the Ethereum was weaker, right, on Saturday. And now we have daily, we have new weekly open. So what I'm waiting for is just one proper direction confirmation. If it wants to go higher, we need to break this supply zone in order to go higher, make another swing high, and then dump from I guess near 80,000. And same setup we had on Doge. It was a really nice sell. Let me hide all the indicators. It's looking really bad right now. And we had same setup on Doge. You can see the wick is actually working well as supply zone. And currently right now we are in support area of previous week point of control. If we go below that, simply we are going to go lower, but right now it's fighting, really fighting well for bulls. And on 4 hour, I need more clarity, or maybe let me hide all this volume profiles. Yeah, so I need price to go above this wick and also fill this supply zone to indicate that price wants to go more higher to make another swing high and break above this. So I have two biases for now. I'm not really confirmed that where this weekly candle is going to go, but just waiting for clear direction on 4 hour. As we can see that not a single 4 hour candle is actually very much bullish, and we have no news today. So just gonna wait for NY open and let's see what actually happens. And we have new 4 hour open, and I think it will give us some direction, and around 12 p.m. it will be a proper trending market.
All right, interesting. So what if we would have to take a trade here? I mean, looking at the daily here, we see that I remember doing some analysis on this this morning, and we have been fluctuating quite a lot here on the daily candle, but I do like the retest here. I mean, this is definitely what I would view as a retest of support, retest of previous resistance. We do see that it's an interesting level. So on the daily, I kind of like what I'm seeing here for Bitcoin, but it is dangerous because I do feel like we've seen this before. We've seen the exact same pattern here. We've seen this before. We now also have that rejection right here. So this rejection that we had right here, I mean, it might just be the case that we have front ran this whole level right here. I need to look at the stock indices as well to see what they're doing, to kind of get an idea of, because I haven't looked at the S&P 500 or Nasdaq today. Yeah, I mean, this is strong. This is powerful price action right here. I mean, we went through the whole range. We just had that V-shaped recovery similar to the tariff dump right here. So the stock market just went straight from the low, straight up into all-time highs. And looking at the structure of price right here, there's no clear break of structure. Momentum is very strong. There's no signs that this is pulling back. There's strong volume. Everything is kind of supporting this move. So I'm just at least right now looking at this, I'm just thinking that the bull market is very much on for the stock market. Something that I did not expect this to happen this quickly. Looking at the Nasdaq, we have this is just an incredibly strong move right here above that resistance. So we do have that pull, we do, but we've also seen this before where the S&P 500 have continued to the upside and have broken into new all-time highs, while Bitcoin was trading in a bear market all throughout that. So I'm not really normally I would look at the S&P 500 and Nasdaq and say, well, okay, that move that we're seeing right now should spill over into other risk assets like Bitcoin. What's up, bear, B? No, okay, so it's B. you're not a bear. It actually says "be for real," and that's not a bear. That is actually a cat. Okay, and you've actually won an account in the past, so hopefully you're funded now, making a lot of money. Nah, I'm kidding. It's not that easy, is it? Okay, so looking at this and taking into consideration that the general market right now seems relatively bullish in a sense, I feel like there might be some intraday strength here. But there's one thing. Okay, so let's take a look at this 4-hour trend right here. We're going to be activating the linear regression channel here. I'm going to put it back maybe 200. So no, so I want it at like the beginning of this move here. I think that should probably be, let's see. Yeah, I think
it's forming internal bear flag as well.
Sorry, what?
It's forming an internal bear flag as well. We're testing the lows, the support of bear flag.
On what time frame?
On your chart.
On my chart.
Yeah.
So where's the bear flag?
This channel, I'm calling it bear flag.
Oh, this whole channel, you're talking about this as a bear flag.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm just looking at this as just a channel, just an uptrend. And so this is the linear regression channel. What this indicator does is that it takes price from here to here, and then it calculates the best fit line basically through price. If you would draw a line that would represent basically the mean price of this trend, it's going to be that one in the middle. And then the upper line and the lower line is 2 standard deviations from the midline. And as you can see, price usually reacts when it hits the the second standard deviation away from the mean. I don't know what the exact statistics are, but I think there's like, what is it, like an 80%? I gotta look that up. There's a certain percentage chance that if price reaches certain standard deviation of the mean price, it has a certain percentage chance of retracing back to the mean price. And looking at this, if we would just look at this channel and trade it like this, I would view this as resistance. What's up, Boris? Welcome.
Welcome, Boris.
I think you muted.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
I'm great, man.
Doing great.
How's your
Boris
weekend?
got woods, not plants.
I'm doing well. I'm not in the professional setup I had the past 2 days because of some taxi driver drama, but I am here. That's what counts. And I think I have a good internet connection.
Yeah, looking good, man. All good. We get a lot of questions here. We're seeing a lot of comments saying where's the plant. Saying Boris, what's up? Hi, Boris. People seem to really like you. I did not get as many highs and greetings as you did, which is a bit unfair, I must say. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm searching for, like, if I'm gonna get a plant, it has to be a very good plant that I'm gonna hold and take care of for the long term. So it's going to be a long-term investment. I don't want to go into a store and just get a random plant. You know, it has to be a very selective decision when it comes to getting a plant. So just need a bit more time, and I will get the plant, guys. I promise. And if I don't get a plant by next week, if I don't get a plant by next week, feel free to hate on me all you want.
So is this going to be more of a growth plant or more of a maybe value plant? And are you looking to perhaps, get it at a, discounted value?
Yeah.
Or is this something where you're happy to get in while, momentum is high and it's kind of breaking out?
Yeah. I'm a swing trader, so I'm looking for a long-term plant that I can keep and hold, and it's pretty low maintenance that I don't have to water every day.
You hold it over the weekend, right?
Yeah, just let it sit there and grow, and not. I don't want to take care of the plant too much. That's the kind of plant I need. So
right, you don't want too much micromanagement, right?
No, not at all. I hate micromanaging.
Perfect.
So if you guys have any tips, any suggestions of what kind of plant I should get, let me know in the comments.
Surely IKEA. There has good stuff on IKEA. Surely there must be an IKEA around somewhere where you're at.
Unfortunately, Sweden has not built an IKEA yet in Indonesia, as far as I know.
There's no IKEA in Indonesia at all.
I can have a look.
Yeah,
there's literally plants right outside my villa complex, so you can really just get one from the ground.
Okay, so there's actually a small one in small one in Bali.
Really?
Yeah. It's everywhere, man.
Look, I'm not going to IKEA for a plant. I think.
But it's close. It's closing at 9 p.m. So you better hurry.
All right.
Well, all right.
Won't be possible tonight.
Yeah. Okay, so we have what I'm looking at here for Bitcoin is 2 levels. So we got the area right below 76 on this chart, which I'm watching here is on Bitstamp. This is the spot. The reason I'm charting this on Bitstamp is just because that's what I've always done. I've always looked at this spot chart, and it's just where I have all the drawings. But I should probably watch, if I'm trading this live, because the price feed that we're using in Tradeify Crypto, I believe, comes most likely right now, at least from Bybit. I think Bybit or Binance. I don't know exactly, but those are very similar, and it should be on the futures, the perpetual futures contract. So anyway, the level that I'm watching here, and it might be different on your chart, but this is 76, and then above we got that 70, these highs right here. So we now know that we are within that channel. We are getting close to the mean price of that channel. But what we've seen as well is whenever we've actually hit the low, we do tend to go towards the upper band. So having a TP of this line here actually front run the high of the channel, and the channel also interestingly comes in right at the 50% fib of the larger move. So if this trend continues, we can expect price to move something like this, I believe. Let's see, that is the low. So how long did it take from this area up here? 24. Okay, so but I'm looking for this type of move. So now if I go down into the lower time frames, remove the channel, I like this level here. And I think for today, most likely what I would be looking for from an intraday perspective on Bitcoin would be this type of move. And then the stop loss for a trade like this would be determined when the retest actually happens. So let's say we get a breakout here, and then price might pull down here and have a bullish engulfing candle perhaps. Then I would probably market buy on the bullish engulfing and then have my stops below here. And that's the only thing I can really find right now. But then also, you know, I'm kind of seeing potential reasons to be, and my overall bias would be bearish here actually, you know. Right, we got something called Nightbot in the comments. I'm not sure who activated that. It was not me. But it's someone. Might be Alex. And Geomir just got timed out by Nightbot. I don't agree with that. I'll have to talk with, who is that? Roman, is that you? Okay, so we got someone for the team activating Nightbot. So if you're getting banned for no reason, don't worry about it. I will unban you. So that's no problem. No problem. Anyway, I was talking about this low time frame move right here. Okay, Jimmer is here. Good. First, I thought maybe you were getting banned because you were costing the company too much money. Now, for a short, I kind of like this as well. But you see, this level has already been tested once, twice. These wicks right here, and then we're in that zone. So it feels like we're pushing and pushing and pushing. There's a lot of wicks here, indicating, you know, that sellers have pushed price, but price still keeps creating these lower highs. So it still seems like there is a lot of buying pressure coming in here. So yeah, I'm not really sure, but it feels like we are I would either short this level or wait for a break and retest to go long. Let me know, guys, in the comment section what you are looking at right now. Right, so we have B for real is looking for shorts as well. What are you guys looking at?
Yeah, Jonathan, I didn't want to interrupt your guys' Bitcoin analysis. I want to talk about Rave token.
Yeah, I had a message from Dirk this weekend. It said like, "Hey, do you know if your colleague is still long on Rave?"
So essentially, it was like we assumed a pump and dump. This thing is basically down 97% from the highs, and I think it's in the news right now. I don't know what happened. Well, it was like obviously a rug pull, but my camera just fell. But,
whoa, that's what you get when you don't have a plant. That's technology telling you that we need some life in here.
All right, let me stabilize my camera here. So Ravecoin fell by 97%.
Mm-hmm.
And
I like
it's
how
in
you
the
said
news.
it's actually an interesting, and this is actually an interesting project. You said 2 or 3 days before it got rug pulled.
I mean, in theory, I thought it was interesting, but I didn't. You know, this was not investment advice. It was just my opinion.
Of course,
I didn't buy it. I'm not a holder of this thing. I thought it was surprising that exchanges like Kraken and other big exchanges listed, they listed this token. Like, having worked for an exchange, I know they have listing departments that do, like, they do an analysis of a project's tokenomics. So it's very strange that we have like a U.S. regulated exchange like Kraken. I don't know if Coinbase listed it, but there are several like big name exchanges that actually listed this token, I guess, without doing much due diligence.
But I think they have entered a new phase where it's just we're listing everything, right? Because that is the only explanation that I would buy for something like this. Where, again, you have Coinbase, Kraken, which is supposed to be on the forefront of the regulatory landscape within the US, and then they're listing tradable assets where they're very questionable. The whole obviously they have to be questionable if they get rug pulled like this, and it wasn't a massive project. So I think they have entered the phase where it's just like, okay, the regulators in the US, crypto regulators, they have taken the stance that we're accepting more cryptos than what we're actually not accepting. So we're letting a lot of these altcoins go through, maybe slip through the cracks or whatever. But it is weird. It is really weird.
Yeah. But you would expect this kind of thing for like mid-tier exchanges like your Gate.ios and I forgot the names of like Bittrex back in the day. Like, you wouldn't expect this from Kraken, which is I guess they're number 2 by volume in the US. So yeah, just very, very strange. Hopefully not too many people bought the top on this one.
I'm really liking this as a short, because it feels like, I think the only thing stopping me, or what I feel is stopping me from feeling this is a perfect short, is right now the stock market. The way that it's trading, I feel, might have an effect on Bitcoin and other risk assets, going to pull it upwards with the stock market. Again, we've seen this before. We've seen S&P 500, Nasdaq breaking to new all-time highs while Bitcoin was basically breaking down. But we've been trading here for a long time now. There has been accumulation, I'm sure. It still has quite a lot of room to the upside before we reach that major resistance zones. I do feel like there's sort of a gap in price or a vacuum in price, if you will, where you might but then again, I mean, we are at an inflection point where I would either go short or go long, which means the risk to reward is best in those certain situations. Because if the short gets invalidated, then the long gets activated. And in terms of targets for this short, I quite like this level below at around 70k. Get straight back into the range, maybe hit that middle of the range. I think the risk to reward here can be fantastic. The problem is what happens at the US Open. So if I would short this, I would probably look at something like this. What are you guys thinking right now for Bitcoin? If you are looking for longs or short here?
I mean, at 9:30, if we see lower prices, then obviously selling is something which I'm also waiting for. But we do have a daily strong support level at 73,000. So even if I take shorts, I'm going to hold till this low. let's till 73,200. But still not sure. For longs, we need to break above this resistance zone, and for shorts, we need some bear volume. And for now, we have nothing.
Yeah, I feel like for myself, I thought there's gonna be more follow through once we broke above like 76,000. Like we were talking about that as a key pivot level. And I really thought we'd have a smooth ride up to 84K really. But the fact that we were like just barely able to get past 76K, get only up to 78.5, that's concerning. Whether it's about the whole Iran Strait of Hormuz thing or not, regardless of the reason, it's hard for me to be bullish on Bitcoin right now.
Yeah, and there's just no follow through on volume as well. If we switch over to my screen, we can take a look at the volume now. So let's take a look at, we got Friday was on the 17th. So let's take a look at this. We had, so this is the Friday candle. Now the reason why I'm pointing out the Friday candle is because it's a normal trading day basically. And then we had on the 14th, that was the Tuesday last week. That was this one. So both of these candles right here we have on Monday and Tuesday, the 13th and the 14th. That was when we had a live stream, and I was saying, well, this looks like we have strong volume right here. And I don't know if you guys remember that, but I've been analyzing the volume behavior all throughout this this range, and I've been noting that volume had been dropping quite a lot. But then we had on Monday, Tuesday, we had a volume spike, and then I said, okay, so if volume picks up, which means we would have a spike on maybe Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, and preferably volume on all of those days exceeding this. We would have volume spikes going up like this, and what that would cause, hopefully as well, would be a breakout on the accumulation distribution indicator. But what we see is the accumulation distribution indicator on the daily has stayed somewhat flat throughout this whole up move right here, and there's no volume picking up here. The Friday volume was just a little bit higher than the retest within the range. So the question is, where is the interest? Where is the interest in Bitcoin on this breakout? I mean, Bitcoin broke above 76K. It was about to make that move up into that 80 to 85 region. And the reason why that didn't happen, or I mean, the fact that didn't happen while the stock market broke out into new all-time highs, I see as severely, a sign of severe weakness, right? Because in an environment where we are in a bull market and a bullish, liquidity environment, if you will, that would most certainly happen. So why is it not happening? And I think it's not happening because there's simply no reason for retail to get hyped about Bitcoin, because it's so weak relative to the stock market. And I don't believe there's a lot of reasons for institutions to accumulate Bitcoin here, because they know statistically Bitcoin might fall much further before it's interesting to accumulate. So that might be why we're seeing this rejection. Okay, so I've just talked myself into this trade. I'm gonna go short. Okay, let me pull up my DX traded platform. Man, we need to change the background. It says future prompt firm. This is not a futures prompt firm, just so you know, guys. Just for your information. So we're gonna we need to change that. Yeah, okay, this is on the 1 minute right here. We see we got that selling coming in. We got on the 1 hour here, the wick. So what I'm gonna do here is And this is on DX Trader, by the way. And we had a question about this. Let me see if I can find it. I had a question. So this is the actual question from Cameron. It says, I have a question with the DX platform. If anyone knows, I do my charting on TradingView. What is the chart I should be using that matches the DX Trader version? So we talked about that, and that should be, you should either look at, I think you should look at Bybit, US Bitcoin USDT perpetual futures. It might be Bitcoin USDT .p or just the perpetual futures using the USDT. I think that's the one. That should be the one with the best prices. Okay, so we're gonna go in. We're gonna select the short position. I'm just gonna enter market here. I want my stops to be above this one right here. That wick. I want my stop above. And then we're gonna go and we want it closer to. So we're gonna put it in the middle of this zone right here, because if we zoom out, we can see that is 71. If we draw the fibs, let's assume that that is the low and then this is the high, and we go in and we select the 50%. See that this is the middle of the range, but we have strong support obviously here. So that's where I want to TP on this short. We'll run here. So that would be 2.6. Okay, how much are we risking on this one? I'm going to give you guys a couple of alternatives, a poll in the comment section. How much should I risk on the Bitcoin short? Okay, so I'm going to give you a few alternatives here. First one is 0.12, 0.25, 0.50, and 0.75. Go in. I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes, and then whatever risk you select, I'm going to go with on this short. Be nice, guys. Okay, 67% right now and 0.75. That's pretty even. Seems like most of you want me to go with high risk. Well, it's no surprise there at all. I put in 10%, you would probably pick that one. Do you guys know what this is? Can you see that? No, you can't see it. Well, it's a pen. It's called the Space Pen. Have you ever heard about the Space Pen?
I have not. No.
So this is actually really, really good, because this pen right here was developed for the Apollo mission to the moon. This is the only pen in the world that actually works while you're on the moon, which means I'm well equipped to go to the moon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So Jonathan, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So we had same question in the movie. The guy was asking to the professor that if they had to create this pen which can write in space, instead of that, why don't they use pencil?
Wait, can you say that again?
Instead of inventing that pen which can write in space, why don't they use pencil?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Well, it's okay. So this is like a normal pencil. I mean, like a normal charcoal pencil.
Yeah.
Because charcoal sucks. You need ink. You want ink. Obviously, you want to be writing with ink, and this is an ink pen. You can even so the thing is, you can write upside down, which is pretty cool. You can write underwater as well, because it has a pressurized ink cartridge. It is actually very, very cool. Unfortunately, I don't write a lot, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna use it for. How did you get that pen? I got the pen from NASA. You know, so it's when I went. They interviewed me for the moon mission that recently flew around the moon, and one thing that they asked me was, "Do you have a pen?" I said no. Say, here you go. Here's a pen. That's where I got the pen. Okay, so let's end the poll here. We have all right, it's even. 36% says 50%. The other 36% says 0.75. I'm gonna go with 0.50. Sell market, Bitcoin, USD, all good. Oh no, that's the wrong one, is it? Stop loss. Yeah, okay, right. Risk 0.5. Okay, sell. Okay, so we're short here on Bitcoin. Let's see what we get. Now the thing here, if I get stopped out here and there's a break and retest of the area where I got stopped out, I will enter long. So I'm gonna have to jump off in about 5 minutes or so because I'm gonna take my kid to the dentist. Yeah, that's right, Ankara. I was in NASA before trading. That's right. And then I figured, you know, I'm not gonna get to the moon anytime soon at this place, so I might as well trade crypto and get myself to the moon that way. Yes, true story.
Is it really? I mean, doesn't sound that far-fetched, to be honest.
No, I'm yes, definitely,
Okay.
definitely real.
Mm.
Yep.
I mean, honestly, the market is very boring to me. Like, I closed all of my longs over the weekend. I had, I think we were discussing last week, I had a Solana long, and then also a long on tokenized silver. And once the news broke about the trade of Hormuz, I just decided just close everything and just have a relaxing weekend. So now I'm in no positions and I'm like scanning the market. Cannot find anything. I don't see any good swing trading opportunities right now.
Jimmy actually had a very good point here. Jeremy says you didn't set the correct stop loss, or am I wrong? Yeah, that's right. I'm not. So what happened here when I set that? If you guys saw that, I changed the stop loss here. I changed to 0.5, and that's the percentage from my entry. So what I should have done instead, obviously, I'm gonna move this down here. So now. The total risk for 0.5% of my account would be around -500. Now, if I draw it down here where it should be, it's -235 or so. So I can risk again on this. I should be able to risk 0.25 again to get to the same risk. But the reason why the stop loss was wrong because I added my risk right here where it says 0.25% stop loss, and it's here, the position risk, where you should add that. So I'm moving the stop loss down. Why is my order rejected? Because it's a limit order. I should buy a trading course perhaps. There we go. Now I'm short. Right, so that's the trade right now. Let's. I'm gonna hop into. Excuse me. I'm gonna hop into trading views. I'm gonna switch quickly here. That's trading view. So this is. Let me mark out the actual short here. I think I can actually copy paste from the Xtrader into trading view. Yeah, I could, but it's not the same. Okay, so where's the actual entry here? It's at 75,282, and then stop loss is at 76,503. And then profit is at 714.18. So this is the trade that we're looking at, and you can kind of view this as, I mean, if it turns out to be correct, then most likely what we're going to see is a type of head and shoulders pattern, right? Where you have, you know, the left shoulder. I'm just going to view this as the top of this whole structure being the left shoulder. Be a very asymmetric head and shoulders, obviously, but something like this. And then if you take the measured move of this head and shoulders, you should have the same, you should have the 70K target here. So if you break that, yeah, even lower down. But I think not much is happening here on the markets. Quite the boring day in the markets. So let's see if we can do a quick scan of the altcoin markets. So what I like to do is I like to have the daily time frame, and I like to have the daily 20 and the 50 EMA, and then just go through it like this and see if there's any altcoins out there whatsoever that has a, oh wow, look at Algo. Oh man. Are you still short on this? Did you take profit? Boris, are you still out? Yeah.
I don't know. I got, yeah, once Bitcoin broke above that $4,000 level, I basically exited all my shorts and went long, and then basically closed my longs. So now I'm positionless. But yeah, I just hit TP1 on the algo short.
Nice. Yeah, that was a good trade. That was a good trade for sure. But anyway, this is kind of like what I'm looking at, right? When I'm scanning through the altcoin markets, you can see that algo had a change in behavior once it broke above that level, and then the overall market being bearish. And obviously, I was looking to fade something like that. So that's kind of like what I'm looking at right now. Is do we have any other altcoins that might show something similar? And we have one here. This is ARB, where with a broken structure, I mean, this is the first time the 20 has crossed about the 50 EMA since September last year, and it has kind of broken structures. This to me is definitely interesting to short. And, you know, the same thing goes for anything that might look to break out. Maybe Bitcoin reclaims that 80 to 85K region, and we can say, okay, now the chances of us being in a bull market is actually much higher now than being in a bear market. So we might as well go long on altcoins, right? But I don't believe we're in that scenario right now. Comp, this is, I mean, look at this. This is, I don't see a reason for this to be trading well above where it was trading in March, April. I think this is just, yeah, this is going to get retraced most likely. So the thing with altcoins, if you look at altcoins that are way overextended, and then you take a small trade on those, if the risk to reward is good enough, you might just have one or two that needs to hit TP for that to be worth it. EGLD is another one, very good example right here. You see that it has never had a daily candle close above the daily 50 EMA since August of last year. No daily candle closing above the daily 50 since August of last year. And then all of a sudden, it did it right here earlier this month. And not only did it close above it, it actually went into high time frame resistance. Those are the altcoins that I want to short. If you go into the lower time frames, you see that the structure here is just perfect. You can see, I mean, this is not a head and shoulders, but I'd like to use the head and shoulders as a good representation of a breaking structure. You can see it right here. This is obviously a very asymmetric one, but it still has the same structure as a head and shoulders, where you have that neckline, and then it breaks down, and that kind of initiates the trend to the downside. So that's what I'm looking at here. Here's another one. I feel like it just shouldn't be trading up here. ENG, like, what's happening here, you know? All right, guys, let's do a giveaway. Now we're gonna do a fun giveaway. The one to write in the comment section the best reason for Boris to get a plant today wins a 10K two-step account. Okay, so in a couple of minutes I will yes, that's right, Be For Real, I do have to take my kid to the dentist, but you know, he will get new teeth. They're just temporary. So okay, so ENG, that's good. Medex Web 3 says to provide him with oxygen. That's actually a pretty good one. That's a very good reason, actually. Guys, if you want a chance of winning an account today, you have to give me a good reason for Boris to get a plant. And once you have, come on, guys, we have one reason. You can't make it that simple for him. We have. I mean, you get AI, just go out there, ask ChatGPT, give me a good reason for Boris to get a plant. And then if you all do that, and then you copy paste it, and you're gonna have every single one of you is gonna have the same reason, then none of you will win. But like we need to do something, right? Alex is probably watching this and it's like, oh, here we go again. So guys, you're not watching any altcoins at all?
I am actually. I just spotted a potential short setup on fetch.ai.
Nice, that's the AI
reasoning. Yeah. Actually, this one goes back to maybe the 2020 or 2011 bull cycle, altcoin cycle.
Yeah, I remember that. I've been trading this for a lot back then.
Yeah, what I like about this potential short setup, now it's on a daily, broke below support at like 22 cents. We're also breaking below the 55 exponential, which you guys know I love to use as a kind of like a initiation trigger. Also getting some bearish momentum coming in, and my momentum indicators are starting to flip the downside. So it's actually looking like a potential short to me. I'm actually entered this trade early. You know, like I'm not gonna wait for the daily close because the daily close is 8 p.m. Eastern, and that's actually I could wait. Just need to wake up early, because 8 p.m. Eastern will be 8 a.m. GMT plus 8 time zone, which is where I'm currently at.
Damn, there's, wow. Oh, okay, I just found PAX G. Obviously, it's in an uptrend. I'm like, oh, look at this altcoin. But that's actually gold. Okay. All right, interesting. Okay, I'm actually late. I'm actually late for that dentist appointment, so I gotta jump out. I will. I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna change to DX Trader here, and I'm just gonna leave this. And then if you guys wanna see my position, you can just flip that up and take a look at it. But I will. I'll have to jump off. So maybe Roman in the background, you can just remove me, and then if you want to, you can just flip up my screen whenever you want to, if you guys want to take a look at my position. All right, guys, so I will select the winner from the chat later. I'm gonna have my
What was the reason? Did anyone come up with a good reason for me to get a plant? Are there any good responses?
Well, pretty good. Honestly, I think it's pretty good. We have one saying so he can touch grass after trading. Not great. Aids concentration. I mean, pretty boring stuff here. You can blame it for the losses. I like that. Okay. Jimmer says, Boris, buy a plant. It's the only investment that grows even when you do nothing. That's not true. That's.
As soon as you said that.
Oh man, Boris, we need to get you a proper setup.
No, the thing is, there's a magnetic thing for my webcam that I cannot find. I've misplaced it somewhere. So I'm constantly moving my workstation around.
Right, yeah.
So.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna jump off. I'll be coming back on. I'm not gonna be coming back on, but I will be letting you guys know who's the winner of the account in the comment section. So everyone watching here, make sure that you give us a good reason for Boris to get a new plant. We will have Anastasiia coming in here shortly as well. I will see you guys later. All right, take care.
All right, see you, Jonathan.
See you, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Boris, your camera fell again.
1 second.
Yeah, for now, I'm just gonna wait for NY Open because I don't think so. We have, a certain direction for a trend. What do you think about this, Boris?
Yeah, on Bitcoin, I agree with you. Like, there's no clear trend. I'm not bullish at all. If we look at the liquidation heat maps, you can see there's a pocket of short liquidity at around 76K. So I think if bulls can push price above 76K, we can get back up to 78K pretty easily. But so far, it looks like the bears are protecting this region at around 76,000 to like 76,500. So yeah, for now, I'm neutral to kind of bearish on Bitcoin. At the same time, we do have plenty of liquidity to the downside at 70,000. So this should technically act as support. But overall, I think it's pretty much back to where we were last week, just ranging between $70,000 to $74,000.
Yeah, I mean, on the new weekly open is doing nothing but just with a very low volume going up. So we're not sure that it's entirely bullish or not. All I want is the same thing. I'm planning the same thing if we close above this area, which is 76,000, then we can easily go long and we can easily reach 80,000. But for now, all we can do is just wait. And I was planning to go longs if we closed above this supply area, but I don't think so. It's gonna work out right now. So yeah, I'm just dependent on NY Open for intraday trades.
Are you in any other positions?
No, currently I'm
other trade
not,
setups?
because I only trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Doge. So all of them are actually in very low volume range. So not really looking at anything right now.
Yeah. Really boring start to the week so far. I mean, we're still waiting for the New York session, but I mean, London and Asia didn't really do much. I don't know what New York is going to do, but looking at the Nasdaq futures right now, like, we did dip down when we opened last night for the futures open, but we seem to have picked up some steam now. So Nasdaq is close to getting back to its all-time highs after that guess that initial reaction to the news over the weekend. So yeah, kind of concerning. Nasdaq is like recovering, Bitcoin is not really. So
I think your screen is not on the stream. Yeah.
Maybe Roman can. Oh yeah. So what I was looking at was, just looking at the daily on Nasdaq. We have kind of like a bullish candle, but we did have a wick down, especially on the lower time frames after the news reaction to the Strait of Hormuz being closed again. But now we are recovering, and what's concerning is that Bitcoin is fell a lot more than the Nasdaq, and it's not recovering at the same rate. Like Bitcoin from the highs went from 78,500 down towards like 73,500, which was a 6% drop. And since then, it's only recovered. Let's see. Yeah, since the low point, it's only recovered about 2%. While the Nasdaq has already recovered most of its losses over the weekend news. So yeah, hard to be bullish on anything right now, especially because Bitcoin dominance has been going up. So if Bitcoin is down and Bitcoin dominance is up, that means just more pain for most altcoins. So, but at the same time, it's very choppy, and I don't see a clear direction in the market right now. So I'm not putting on any heavy short positions. Just sitting on my hands and waiting for movement to come my way.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty slow start for the week, so we just have to wait for some structure first before we move forward. But the thing is that I'm assuming that we can go short till this support zone, and then pump again back to 80,000. What do you think about it? Because I think because we have a very strong support area at 73,000 if we go short. And we have a same area on ETH. We have weekly open, which can act as as a strong support. Boris, you're on mute.
What time frame are you looking at for Bitcoin and Ethereum?
Basically, I always look for 4 hour. It gives me clear structure and idea that what's actually happening on chart. Mm-hmm. And we do have divergence in both pairs, but I'm not really confident for bulls right now until we go above in both pairs. And same with Doge. If you have a look on 4 hour, once we close above this zone, which is of 0.95, and it's going to you can easily take the swing high. So I think Doge is here to give us a good risk to reward than Ethereum and Bitcoin. So if we close above, I'll go long in Doge rather than Bitcoin or Ethereum. And we also have very low commission on Doge. The only thing is that we have to take care of proper lot size plotting because it will be in 6 figures.
Yeah, for me, looking at Bitcoin on the 4 hour with my system, what I can see is that we had like a false break below the 55 exponential. We since recovered. But really, for me to get bullish on the 4 hour again, I want to see a closure above, let's say, 76,000. And then, I think we can retest this level or this pivot point at 78,400. But for right now, I'm gonna, for me, this is a no trade zone, kind of in the middle of the range, and I would not. There's just nothing for me on Bitcoin. And let me look at Ethereum. I'm going to assume it's quite similar. Yeah, so had the false break below the 55 exponential. We are recovering now. So for Ethereum, I would like it to get above like 2380. So like a nice horizontal level. And then from there, we can probably retest like 2500 or 2475 or so. But yeah, the momentum overall is bearish. Volume is bearish. I just don't see a reason why people would want to be buying Bitcoin or Ethereum at these levels. They're just very arbitrary to me. So yeah, on the 4 hour, I'm just neutral. And yeah, kind of have a slightly bearish to neutral bias overall on the daily as well as the 4 hour.
And what are your preferred sources for staying updated on crypto news, like war and stuff?
I mean, I try not to look at the news. I just get like news alerts on my phone, but I don't really look at the news, to be honest. I just look at the charts.
And people
What
are on
about
chat are
yourself?
actually giving you good reasons to buy a plant.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
It's, what are some of the reasons? What's your favorite
Ankur is
reason?
saying that he can buy a plant, it multiplies, he sells, it gets Tradeify Crypto funded accounts and become a millionaire.
Nice. Okay.
That's a long one.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on fetch on the, let's say, the 4 hour? Curious to get your take, because I'm looking to short this on the daily. I know you don't trade this one, but I'm just curious what your perspective would be from a 4 hour time frame. The ticker is FET USD.
USD.
Yeah.
If we look on 4 hour, what I can see is we are overall in bad trend, and let me have a look on weekly time frame. So I'm pretty much bearish, and we are just rejecting from this high. So I will not long this pair. Only thing I can see, okay, we have a support on daily time frame as well. So in order to go shorts, it's good if we close below that. And also we have some supply zones ready for us to go shorts from. So I think it's like a weekly, we'll open, go high, take some liquidity and go lower. So I'm pretty much bearish on this pair.
Yeah,
the good thing is that because and also we break below the range which we were in, So I think it's going to continue lower. I think all altcoins are just waiting for a proper, trend confirmation this week.
Yeah.
And if you look at Sol, it is also in Sol is all on monthly support. So I think it's really a strong support area for Sol. I think it's going to go higher. And all pairs have same supply demand zone. So yeah, again, closing above this high, we can easily take those swing highs at 90.
Yeah, I actually had a successful so long, but I did close it once the news broke over the weekend. And yeah, I'm glad I did, because price did continue to depreciate after the market was pricing in the weekend news. So yeah, and then like looking at other metrics, like I don't know, do you look at like total 3, which measures the market cap of basically all of the crypto market except for Bitcoin and Ethereum, so basically the altcoin market? What I'm seeing here is No, we're holding to this support at $700 billion. So as long as we can maintain the support level at 700 billion, I think alts do have a chance here still, even though we have obviously come a long way down from the record highs at 1.17 trillion from last year. So yeah, we had like a 40% drop in the total three market cap metric. So that's not good for the long term, but you can see over the past few weeks we've just been consolidating at this zone. So as long as we remain above 700 billion on total three, I think I'll give the altcoins a chance.
So you are also using correlation with this pair, right? For altcoins.
Yeah. So I try to look at, for example, if I'm trading Ethereum, how is it performing versus Bitcoin? So I always look at the ETH Bitcoin ratio or the Solana Bitcoin ratio or the Doge BTC ratio. So if Doge is underperforming Bitcoin, what I'll do is most likely just go long on Bitcoin instead of Doge. So that's like, I guess, kind of a pro tip for newer traders out there. Like, always look at how Bitcoin is performing relative to the altcoin sector, because that'll give you a clue of how strong your particular altcoin is.
Yeah, it actually gave us a good edge in market when we look at BTC.
Yeah, and then also looking at the Bitcoin dominance metric. So this basically measures how much market cap is in Bitcoin relative to altcoins. Like, Bitcoin dominance is going up, right? So that means more capital is flowing into Bitcoin, which usually means that it's bearish for altcoins. So I did draw a little, I guess, quick guide to Bitcoin dominance. So Bitcoin dominance 101, when BTC.D goes up, that's typically bullish for Bitcoin, bearish for alts. When BTC.D, Bitcoin dominance goes down, that's bearish for Bitcoin and bullish for altcoins. So right now we're getting Bitcoin dominance going up, which is technically bullish for Bitcoin, but bearish for alts. But the catch with this is that even though dominance is going up, the price of Bitcoin did fall over the weekend. So it's like extra bearish for the altcoins right now, when you consider that Bitcoin dominance is up, but Bitcoin price is down. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. So what percentage we have of this dominance coins? Because I have seen altcoin actually follows Bitcoin movement, and if it's going opposite, and what's the actual percentage of altcoins which actually moves inverse than BTC?
Sorry, what's the question again?
So like what's the percentage of coin that actually moves invertly proportional to Bitcoin? Like Bitcoin is bullish and they'll go bearish, because I've seen that mostly commonly traded altcoin actually follows Bitcoin movement, because if BTC is bullish, alt will also get bullish.
Yeah, that's typically true, but it's just if Bitcoin is really running and Bitcoin dominance is rising, like a rising tide will lift all ships or all boats, or however the phrase goes. But if let's say the price of Bitcoin is going down, Bitcoin dominance is going down, I want to be in Bitcoin. I don't want to be in altcoins. So I don't. There's not like a direct correlation, because it's kind of like there's sector rotation that occurs within the altcoin space. So you can't say that, like, if, for example, Bitcoin goes up 2% and dominance is up, that certain altcoin will go down by 5%. It really depends on whether they're talking about the gaming sector or the AI sector, or whatever altcoin sector we're talking about.
So we have US Open in 10 minutes. Before that, we
Yeah.
can look into chats. And yeah, if you guys have any doubt, you guys can write in chat. Anything related
Also,
intraday or swing.
if anyone has any like chart requests from a daily perspective or from a 4-hour perspective that we could cover, feel free to let us know in the comments. Because I just looked at pretty much all the top 50, and really the only opportunity I saw was a potential short on fetch. So, if you guys spot any interesting trends, please feel free to drop any interesting tickers you see in the comments, so that way we can make money more easily, or at least make predictions easily as a community and as a team.
And yeah, if you are new to crypto market, we have created a small indicator which you can find in crypto channel on Discord. With what it does is that it will calculate quantity for your setup and also commission for your trades. So if you are switching from Forex or you're switching from futures and you don't understand the commission area, and then can you simply use the indicator which we have already in our channel on Discord. And if I break down we have Anastasiia with us.
Hey Anastasiia, how are you doing?
Hey guys, good. I did have a problem with the car. Apparently my rare function does not work at
You're
all,
on mute,
so I
guess.
needed to...
Can you unmute yourself?
Can you hear me? I
can hear you,
am
yeah.
not muted. You can hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
I think then that is some issue with my...
Okay, good.
All right, then
I was saying that
something wrong
apparently I
with my
have
setup.
absolutely no rare function in the car, so I needed to park on the hill like this, just to make sure that I can go back in neutral and drive out of the parking. So I had some creative work with the parking just a second ago. But anyway, how are you guys doing?
We're doing well. We're analyzing the market. So far, I don't know what your opinion is. Bitcoin is very boring. Just momentum is lacking. We had that news about the Tradeify moves over the weekend, which I think affected prices. And I was really thinking that once we broke above 76K, that Bitcoin would just fly to 80K, maybe even 84K, and that didn't happen. So I'm a bit disappointed at that, and kind of disappointed that we're basically back to the same levels we were at during Thursday's stream. So yeah, just I see this as a failed breakout on Bitcoin above the 76K level. So I'm gonna see whether Bitcoin can get back above 76K, or was this actually the local top for now, and are we gonna just go lower from here? I'm really not sure, but I'm leaning towards the downside. What is your opinion?
My opinion is actually quite bearish. I had this analysis already since last week on Bitcoin, so nothing changed. It's actually quite it's perfectly doing what I was expecting. If you can switch over to my screen, maybe it would be better. Yeah, perfect, thank you. So we are basically going inside of the same channel that I was looking at last week, and as we barely missed the top of the channel, I'm expecting the price from this zone here to go back down. So this is exactly the same analysis as we had last stream. And at the moment, so we are basically rejected the top of the channel, we rejected this volume accumulation zone, this small consolidation. So perfectly the reversal. And if we look at the smaller time frame, for example, 1 hour, at 1 hour, we just tested the point of control of this whole drop. So if I take the volume profile over this whole drop to the down, like from the peak that we reached at 78K to the bottom, So we will have there basically the point of control of it right here, which the price has been testing just a second ago. So we had a test of this volume. We are now going down. So I'm actually quite bearish, and I'm considering to take a sell on Bitcoin right now, to be fairly honest. So my ID on the Bitcoin is something like this. So above the previous highs at 76K and at least towards 71.7K. So it's approximately 1 to 2.5, 1 to 3 reward on Bitcoin. And at the same time, I'm also buying gold. So I'm gonna buy for gold. I'm gonna be in a sell for Bitcoin in just a second too. So those, So and then for gold, to be honest, we are also at exactly same area that I was, it's exactly the same idea that I had since last week. We've been quite consolidative, but the price again opened with the gap, again tested the same zone of entry, again came back above the volume. My first entry was here, my second entry was here, and now I added more volume to this order. So I'm not expecting the price to go back lower than 4.7, to be honest with you, for gold. So I'm expecting to reach 4.9, 5,000 in the next days. So that's my opinion for both of them. And I just entered short on BTC now. So that's exactly my entry. Yeah. So once again, I'm pretty much waiting for the target at the previous volumes. So this whole area here is the zone where I'm going to be expecting the price to eventually pull back, with the main targets being at 71.7 approximately, because this is where one of the previous weekly points of control is. So right here. And the only things that I want to check is basically where the value area is. But again, as we talked about last week, I want to confirm within the other exchanges as well, because this is Binance. So I want to see the other exchanges too. So this is my main rejection zone for Bitcoin, 72.45, 46, 71.7. But then I'm going to check the rest of maybe futures on CME, for example, on BTC, to confirm the exact target. But that's an ID. And maybe even 71.4, because that's a monthly point of control where we are at the current moment. So that's April. So that would be a perfect 1 to 3 restore reward on this one.
Yeah, sounds good. And I agree with you regarding being bullish on gold, because unlike Bitcoin, we can see it's like on the daily time frame, gold is maintaining an uptrend, or at least it's consolidating right above the 21 EMA, similar to silver as well. And yeah, I was actually in a gold long last week. I just decided to take profits just because we were heading into the weekend, so I closed this position. But actually, just looking at this again, I think I might go long with you on gold, and I'm not gonna short Bitcoin just because we don't really have enough selling momentum, like for my system on the daily. But I was talking with Ayush and Jonatan earlier about a potential short on Fetch.ai, which is an altcoin. So it basically broke structure here, and we're falling below the 55 EMA as well. So yeah, I might for today just put 2 positions on: short on Fetch, long on tokenized gold. And apart from that, I don't really see too many opportunities from my swing trading system.
Yeah, so no, I'm gonna buy for Paxia and I'm gonna sell for BTC, and I haven't looked at anything else. What altcoin you're looking at again, Boris?
Yeah, so it's Fetch.ai. It's like an AI token. It's actually pretty popular. Has a long history, but essentially the reason I'm bearish is because we broke this range at 0.2259 and also breaking below the 55, and momentum oscillators are turning pretty bearish as well. Like we're about to turn negative on the TSI, and the PPE mod indicator is expanding with momentum to the downside. So when you look at the potential targets, the downside, if this does decide to go down. So basically I'd be looking for targets toward 18, 19, like 19 cents, then 18, then 16 cents, which would essentially be targeting the lows from February and March. So especially if you take out this pivot point at 0.2 or 20 cents, like the 20 cent level, which we're like 1 cent away from breaking that, then I think this one's gonna flush down. So that's my potential trade idea on FET or Fetch.
That's nice. I closed PAX, so digitalized gold long at the moment. I was looking at it. The reason for this is if I'm looking for my order flow software that I use for trading, analytics for volume specifically in order flow, we are right at some massive volumes here, the previous highs too. So we had every time we reach 48.50, 48.40, which is the quotes on the COMEX, so official gold futures exchange. There was a lot of volume every time that we reached this level. So, and every time that even when the price broke through it, we did need a massive volume inflow to be able to break this level. And now after the gap through the weekend that we had, we now for the first time reached once again this area. I closed my loan around 48, 43 and a half when price started to pull back. And then if you're gonna break 48.48, so 48.50 on the GC futures, I'm gonna buy PAX one more time. So I'm gonna be in a long for gold again. In the meantime, I am still continuing to hold short on Bitcoin, because if you look at Bitcoin is still rejecting this point of control of today. So we had this is basically the whole volume distribution for today, right? So we had the New York opening just 3 minutes ago. This is the value area high of today. We had one test, another test. The same zone is at the level of the previous daily point of control, and the Friday's value area high. So this is the zone of the volume from Friday. This is the point of control from Thursday. So we have a big volume area here from the past week in general. Now we tested it once, the price pulled back. We tested it once, twice, the price pulled back. We see that none of the candles body was able to close above the value area high, which for me is a sign of not the lack of acceptance above 75,400 for Bitcoin. So the price is pulling back. We are now below the daily point of control, and I continue to expect the price to go further down from where we are at the moment. So it's perfect if the price will be able to close below 75K on Binance USDT. I'm gonna add to my position, and then I'm gonna add again to my position. So the Bitcoin short, I'm gonna keep holding, and for PAX, I'm gonna wait if we are able to close above the previous volume levels first to eventually re-enter buys. Maybe. So that's a plan for today, for now.
Yeah, well, and what are your targets for the downside, or your target?
For Bitcoin? 72.5, 71.7.
Mm-hmm.
So
we have support area there.
Sorry?
Nice target you have. We have support area of daily time frame, like near your take profit, if we go bearish.
Yeah, I actually like that area as a take profit zone, because that would fall in line with the 55 exponential, which you guys know I like to use as a kind of like dynamic area of support and resistance. So yeah, currently the 55 exponential is coming in at around 72,000, so pretty close to your level. So I like that as a potential take profit zone if Bitcoin decides to go down from here.
Yeah, I'm really curious what we're gonna get from PAX as well today, because it would be perfect if PAX would go up and Bitcoin would continue down. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be good for you.
What do we have in general for this week? From economics. 1 second.
To be honest, I don't know. What do we have?
We had a Chinese interest rate, if I'm not mistaken, today. Yeah, we had the loan prime rate for China. That was at night. That was also the reason we had a push for gold. We had an inflation rate for Canada, and that's approximately it. We had a speech. We are still going to have a speech from the European Central Bank President Lagarde today, and then tomorrow we have a lot of stuff in Europe in the morning, and then we have retail sales and pending home sales in the afternoon. That might influence the high-risk asset, that might influence indices, and as a result also might influence crypto.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, those kind
Then we have oil.
Yeah, those kind of indicators are obviously more important for like real estate, the equity real estate market, but I don't know, for Bitcoin, I don't feel like home sales is that much of a factor from what I've seen. Really what I look for like major moves in Bitcoin is, of course, like the Federal Reserve rate decisions as well as inflation data. Those are really like the only two economic data points I pay attention to for crypto. But have you noticed that, are there other maybe less significant economic indicators that you've seen affect Bitcoin? Because I'm speaking from like a swing trading perspective, so like these, like pending home sales or retail sales, I don't feel like they affect my swing trading strategy that much.
Yeah, for swing trading, probably is not really a big effect. Although I don't really know, because when I was trading swing trading, I guess it depends on approach. What I'm trying to say, because when I was swing trading, I was picking up the main direction based on macroeconomics first, and then connecting it with technicals. But I think there are just different approaches, different roles that you can take towards this. For me, for example, as a trade volume and order flow, for me, the specific macro events are not as important as connecting them with the volume, because a lot of the times these macro events, especially, but both planned and unplanned, like black swan kind of events, they fall under the category of towards my volume zone that I was expecting anyway. So the price still goes to the area that I was expecting. The difference is only in timing, and the difference is sometimes in am I able to catch this move, yes or no, depending on if the price was consolidating before the event and then suddenly goes. So that's basically the difference. But I don't necessarily need any specific events one by one. I would say that I still, although I'm not swing trading anymore, I am still considering macro in building my overall bias for the week. So when I build my overall bias, it is based on macro too. More or less depending on the situation, of course, because at the current moment, for example, it's more based on monetary policy for me and on the Iran-US situation. Whether if there would not be a war, for example, I would be taking macro in account much more. Itself.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think just the whole Iran thing is just really messing up the markets, and especially just Trump's tweets. He said he's gonna blow up Iran again, and I think he's taking some crazy pills. I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah, but
930 is not doing much.
Yeah, guys, I'm looking at AgriTrade, and we've been looking at this, I guess, indicator for the past few streams, and usually we get like some good volume, whether it's to the downside or to the upside during the New York session. And so far in the past 10 minutes, there has been no big trades either way. So like really nothing to see here, like, because there's no volume, whether it's to the downside or to the upside. So really just very, very boring price action on Bitcoin, at least for now. I don't even know what kind of like trigger we're going to get in order for price to move in one direction or another.
One thing I've noticed that when we get constant 4-hour
I'm
slow
still,
volume, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. I was saying that I'm short in BTC still, but I'm gonna quickly reload my internet and join in just 30 seconds because it feels like I'm having some lag. So I'll be back in 30 seconds with you guys.
No problem.
So yeah, what I was saying,
you were saying, yeah.
Yeah. So when we get usually a very range-bound candle on Bitcoin, let's say 12 a.m., 4 a.m., and 8 a.m. all are ranging, and suddenly we'll see good volume on the next candle. So whenever we see slow 4-hour candles, I usually wait for the new 4-hour open to get proper volume in order to trade. So if we see nothing on this candle, I feel that even 12 p.m. can do something for intraday setups. And for now, 930 is doing not much because we are getting rejected many times from point of control on Ethereum, and also on BTC we can see point of control is being a very strong support, and we are just ranging under value area high in point of control even though it's 930. So I think it's better if we take nothing today until we get some confirmation. Boris, you're on mute, I guess.
Yeah, I'm looking at the news right now, trying to see if there's any headlines that could potentially affect Bitcoin and the market in general. So I guess one news headline just came out is that Iran says no plans for second talks after U.S. ship seizure. Pakistanis contradict as Vance. So G.J. Vance, the vice president of the U.S., is flying to Islamabad, I guess, for some negotiations. And then if you look at Poly Market, this actually could be interesting. Traders are betting that the Strait of Hormuz, there's only 31% chance it will return to normal by end of April, or by the end of the month. So yeah, I don't know how much of an impact the Strait of Hormuz has on like Bitcoin related stuff. I guess in a way it does, because Iran wants to get paid in Bitcoin in order for ships to pass through. So so if they get their way, and maybe it's a good thing.
So do you actually trade on Poly Market?
I always wanted to, but I already trade so much on just regular futures platforms that I think it's awesome. Poly Market, as well as Kalshi, that's the other prediction market. But I honestly do not have the time to be making these bets, and it's just to me it's like gambling.
I feel it requires a lot of fundamental knowledge.
Yeah, and it's too much work for me. Plus, I don't feel like connecting my crypto wallet and using USDC and just opening more crypto accounts. So that's why I don't trade on Polymarket. But I do look at Polymarket data just for fun, because I mean, obviously we have like so many different categories here, like from crypto to sports to like finance and geopolitics. Like, for example, like I didn't even know this was a thing, like Bitcoin up or down 5 minutes. Did you that's crazy. Look at this. I didn't even know this is a instrument. Huh. This would be fun to trade, I guess. Bitcoin up or down 5 minutes. I haven't seen this one before.
So if we bet longs, then we'll make money, I guess.
I guess, yeah, so
For 5 minutes.
yeah, because the market is predicting what. Yeah, so if we buy up, let me go back here. So 51% are up. So basically 50-50, whether it's up or down. So it's basically a coin toss. Let's see if there's anything else interesting. I like this bet. Well, what price will Ethereum hit in April? Above 2,600. 24% say yes, and below 2,019% say yes. So basically what people are saying, there's a 24% chance. 24% chance. Ethereum will go above 2,600, according to Polymarket, and a 19% chance it will go down below 2,000. So kind of pretty similar odds, I would say. Well, what do you think? Ethereum below 2,000 or above 2,600? For me, I think it'll be just stuck in that range. Like, it'll be between 26 and 2,000.
Below 2,000 is like it will help for a long run, right? It will be a long bet.
I mean, you can select yes or no. So basically, like you can, let's say you think Ethereum's going to go below 2,000. Well, you would click yes, right? And then I guess, these contracts are getting like more complicated because now they have different levels, and you can even select like different times as well.
So it's fundamental and technical both. You have both kind of bets.
Yeah, I'm gonna say they've added a lot of different betting instruments. Maybe I will take a closer look at this because it's almost like an options play, like almost like what is it? Like binary options. I like this one. Will Satoshi move any Bitcoin in 2026? So there's a 9% chance of that happening. Yeah, and then there's all sorts of bets on Iran, politics, sports. See what are the weather bets? This seems kind of boring. I'll just stick to crypto bets.
I have read one post on Twitter saying that Trump family makes a lot of money in Polymarket.
Do they?
Sorry?
Yeah, that would make sense because they obviously have insider knowledge. So yeah.
I'm sure they do.
This is an interesting bet. So what price will Bitcoin hit on April 20th, which is today? So let me zoom in on this. So it says 56% chance it'll be above 76, 38% below 74. So actually, I guess people are betting that will be above 76, which I find interesting. Why traders, or I guess they're gamblers, why they're predicting it's going to be above 76 on April 20th. What is USD.AI FTB? Do you guys know this?
Sorry, from my mic. I have no one in my room, Max.
Is there still background noise?
Boris, you're on mute.
Oh yeah, I wanted to go back to AgriTrade. Like, once again, there's no big orders coming in to the buy or sell side, so really no market activity happening on Bitcoin. No big orders showing up. Let me filter this by maybe. Yeah, I lowered the threshold for big trades to like 150K, but still nothing is coming up. So I'm looking at the cumulative volume delta on AgriTrade. It's just been going down since the futures market opened. So it looks like not many people are interested in trading BTC.
Is that 15-second chart?
So this is the 5-second. But you can switch. I think there's a way. Yeah, you can actually switch it to 5 minutes.
So, like, how do you analyze Earth charts on 5-second? I mean, based on what? Because I have never seen someone.
Yeah. So actually, the way. Well, I don't do this anymore, but I would use this for like high frequency scalping back when I was more of a high risk trader. And I would basically look at the order flow. So I wouldn't necessarily look at the charts. I would basically wait for big trades to come in and just trade based on order flow. But right now we have no big orders coming in, so I wouldn't be trading this. And there's nothing really happening on the 5-second chart. So I wouldn't be trading the 5-second because there's nothing happening even on the 5-second.
I'm not sure if there is a lag or if you guys can hear me.
Now we can hear you.
Perfect.
I can hear you.
Amazing. I'm still in a short for Bitcoin at the moment. So it's starting to reverse, and you guys talked about Ethereum as well. So for me, Ethereum is exactly the same bias as Bitcoin. So I'm expecting Ethereum to also go lower from the current levels, because this is the monthly point of control. So this is April currently, right? We can type it as April volume. So this is this. Now, besides this, we have the weekly one as well, right here, where the price is trying to reverse. We also have the big volume zone here. So essentially, from the current levels, so currently this whole area is a big volume zone. So before it was also the volume from one of the previous weeks and the previous highs too. So, and if we extend this volume, it's previous highs here as well. So so it's exactly at the top of the channel again for me, like from the perspective that I see it. And as I'm looking for maybe shorting, because I'm in short for Bitcoin, I don't like shorting two correlated assets at the same time. But my target for Ethereum would be 2.2. And then the next one would be around 2.13, so 2,130. And then the final target would be all the way at the bottom of the channel, around 2,050, so around 2,000. I don't think we're going to go, we don't have, let's say like this, at the current moment, the reason for the price to go below 2,000. It might appear, right, when the price comes closer. So that might change the price to go lower than that. So this would be my final target for shorts on Ethereum. But in general, my bias is short. It's either short through the highs. So let's say one more high until 2.3, 2.35, like this, or the short from the current level immediately. So like short directly here, also possible.
Yeah.
So that would be my opinion on Ethereum at the current moment.
I agree with your negative or bearish opinion on Ethereum and also the entire market, because if we look at the crypto bubbles for the day, like the majority of tokens are in the red. I mean, Zcash is down 7%, Hype is down 6%. Like Fetch, which we were talking about, is down 3% over the past 24 hours. There's a few that are up, such as Chili's, CHZ, Altcoin's up, but the majority of the market is down so far. So yeah, I'm not really finding too many reasons to be bullish on crypto right now. If anything, I'm just bullish, like you said, on gold. So I might take that PAX G swing position along with you, but on the daily time frame.
But you're going long
overall on gold, on the PAX G or tokenized gold contract.
Yeah, but I'm out for now, so I'm still waiting for the overhigh. Yeah, I'm out. I was sharing it before that I closed it because we had a lot of volume on the previous highs here, and I'm looking for the overhigh from the current highs here. Only if the price does something like this, I'm gonna buy again on the pullback and then continue towards the previous targets that I had.
Interesting. Well, what time frame are you trading? Is it the 4 hour?
1 hour.
1 hour. Okay. Yeah, we're just having like a nice spike on the 1 hour. It's currently trading at close to 4,800. Let me actually pull up the actual PAX G chart. Maybe we'll have more clear data. It's like a nice candle on the 1 hour on PAX G. Pretty much breaking this range at 70. Yeah. And then if we switch to daily, which is my preferred time frame, we're like, but I really want to see a closure above 4,830, and then that would be confirmation for me to go long and take this all the way to 5,000. I think we were talking about that 5K target for a while now, since last week.
For a couple of good weeks for sure, yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully by the end of the month, we'll see gold back at 5K.
Good thing is that we are closer till the end of the month than not, so I'm expecting this too.
Yeah.
Unless something happens, of course, this week, and then suddenly the whole macro reverses. But rather than that, I'm still exactly same bias as I was last week. It's exactly the same idea, nothing changed. So unless something out of the ordinary happens one more time this month, I still think we're gonna be able to get closer to 5,000, maybe 4.9 something.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And hopefully nothing crazy happens because already so much has happened over the past, I guess, couple of months. I really don't want any more drama in geopolitics or in the markets. I think people are quite exhausted from all the headlines. And maybe that's why Bitcoin is not going up, because people are just exhausted. And
trading is like this. It's like,
yeah.
If everything ends by the end of this month, then we can expect something from May.
What do you mean by everything ends? Like the world is gonna end?
No, I mean the crisis we have in a state of Hormuz.
Yeah. You made it sound like if everything ends. Yeah, but I get what you're saying.
I mean, we don't get to choose the environment in which we trade, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So the only things that you can do is to get ready mentally, because I figured out for myself that if I live with hope that, oh my God, I hope nothing happens this week, it's adding up more stress for myself rather than I'm like, okay, you know what? Anything can happen. Today, tomorrow, after tomorrow. So you know what? We're gonna figure out how to work in this kind of environment anyway. So whatever happens,
so I think,
we need to.
Yeah. Just get ready always be ready for the unexpected. I forgot who said that, but it's a very wise phrase.
As long as you don't get
we have to carry
attached.
from.
As long as you don't get attached to the specific ID, as a trader, I think it's extremely important to always have your mind open to other possibilities. I think it's the best. Less stress, less expectations, less disappointment, more focus on work. I found that it works for me. Healthy dose of self-irony and self-skepticism also helps. And a healthy dose of funny memes about trading.
Yeah.
They kind of carry you. Yeah, they kind of carry you through.
Which is why it's good to always be talking to you guys and other traders, because I think we all have a good sense of humor around the markets. So, take this seriously, but don't take it too seriously. Try to have a laugh at sometimes.
Exactly that. I think Jonatan is great in it. Jonatan is amazing in this, actually.
He is, because I've never seen him sad. Yeah, he's always very happy, no matter what's happening in the market.
Yeah, that's true, guys. I think we are in the end of the stream for today. My stream is a little bit lagging, so I'll let you close the things off. But we're gonna be back tomorrow. Yeah, guys. So I think we're going to end the stream. We've been going for 2 hours. Suppose any closing thoughts, Ayush and Anastasiia, for the viewers? Any advice for today? Not financial advice, but just any practical tips.
For practical tips, if you guys have any doubts, you can join our Discord community where we actually help traders to perform good. So if you are not able to, write something here, you can briefly explain us over there and we'll be happy to answer all your questions.
Nice words. And I would just say trade safely, guys. And that's all. So see you guys tomorrow. Same time. We'll see you guys tomorrow again. Same time, same place. Boris, Ayush, thank you so much. And have a profitable start of the week, everyone. Yeah. See you guys.
Goodbye, everyone. Bye-bye.